I think Sufjan Stevens is probably one of my biggest musical inspirations, along up there with David Bazan and Kendrick Lamar. I think what I really admire about Sufjan and Kendrick is kind of their like tendency for massive conceptual projects. None of my own I've particularly accomplished yet, but I think it's admirable to choose projects that big. And I think I really admire Bazan just for the way he's able to talk about kind of faith and questions about the world. I think I started to know that I wanted a career in music probably in high school. I'd enjoyed music for a long time, and I'd grown up around it since my mom would like play the piano and organ in church and such. And it'd always been something I enjoyed, but I think in high school, when I started to see more people around me actually do it as a profession, I was like, it's not an impossible thing to do, so I think I would like to try to do it. Grew up kind of in the Midwest and in a kind of evangelical subculture, and thus listened to a lot of Christian radio. And there's this one song by Brandon Heath called Give Me Your Eyes that I actually revisited last night because I think it's a lot like the first song I'm going to play today. And I'm like, man, that actually kind of holds up, so not a bad tune. I don't do a lot of shows of my own material. That I do play a lot more with other people. And I don't know that I can really think of any specific thing, but maybe just run some scales, keep the fingers limber and ready to go. I think my dream performance would probably be at the Ryman. And I get to have like 10 or 12 of my buddies on stage doing all the things they do. We could kind of like deck out the arrangements, make them super huge, and probably either be the opening for like Sufjan Stevens or this band from Kalamazoo, Michigan, the Go Rounds that I really love. I'd say my upbringing really influenced my music insofar as I spent a lot of time playing guitar in church. And while my songs might not be churchy per se, I think kind of ingrained in me is this idea that like songs should have messages. And that's not necessarily like a universal. I like to make kind of just vibey music too, but for the stuff that I think I do really seriously, I enjoy having some kind of either big question to think about or kind of moral to be taught. If I could play a show with any musician alive or dead, it'd probably be Kendrick Lamar. And I'd be shaking in my boots the whole time because I saw him over the summer live, and my gosh, what a show. But yeah. I chose these two songs because I think the first one, Incheon International Airport, is just kind of like the best thing I've made. And so if people had to check out just one thing from me, it'd probably be that. And I think Streets of Gold is probably one of the tighter songs I've written lyrically. Not only rhythmically, but I think it's like intelligent too. The story behind these two songs, Incheon International Airport first, it's kind of just exploring the problem of evil through this location, which is Incheon International Airport. It's like about 20 miles away from the North Korea-South Korea border, so I thought it'd be kind of a poetic thing to talk about the airport kind of as a example of how good and bad are always kind of existing around one another. And then Streets of Gold, really I just kind of started writing it on a camping trip, and it's kind of imagining what it would be like to live through the Protestant Reformation and then making some connections to kind of modern day ways in which religious people can be exploitative.